Hello and welcome to Buddhistdoor Global's weekly news review. I'm Dr. Justin Whitaker, Senior Correspondent for BDG. In this week's news, Bangladesh will build a Buddhist monastery in Lumbini, Nepal. In a virtual meeting of Bangladesh's cabinet, chaired by Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina on the 27th of July, a draft agreement was approved between the Lumbini Development Trust of Nepal and the government of Bangladesh to construct a Bangladeshi Buddhist monastery. The proposed monastery will be built in Lumbini, the birthplace of the historical Buddha. The construction was initiated with the personal interest and planning of the Bangladeshi ambassador to Nepal and the first secretary consul. Lumbini is one of the most important spiritual sites in the world for Buddhist pilgrims. Lumbini is home to a number of old temples, the most sacred among them being the Maya Devi Temple, marking the site that archaeologists have identified as where Shakyamuni Buddha was most likely born. Inscriptions on the nearby Pillar of Ashoka also refer to the spot as the Buddha's birthplace. In 1997, Lumbini was officially listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. In the United States, Bhutanese immigrants turned to archery and Buddhism to counter COVID-19 stress. The difficulties of being an Uber driver in a busy city and living in the New York and New Jersey area, which were hit hard in the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic, have brought Bhutanese Buddhists together and returned to their national pastime, archery. Around 24 Bhutanese immigrants have begun weekly archery tournaments in recent weeks to relax, enjoy camaraderie, and to honor both the tradition of archery and their national religion of Buddhism. Bhutan's tradition of archery is believed to date to the mid-19th century, when the father of the nation's first king is said to have shot an arrow from a mountain at invading British forces after offering prayers to Yeshe Gampo, the guardian deity of Bhutan, hitting the British general in the head and killing him. Today, in the Buddhist kingdom of 750,000 people, people continue a more peaceful version of the sport. From his home in Dharamsala, India, the Dalai Lama engaged in dialogue with the United States Institute of Peace, USIP, on the topic of conflict, COVID, and compassion. In a dialogue on August 12th, His Holiness the Dalai Lama joined the USIP's president and CEO, Nancy Lindberg, and a group of 20 young peace builders known as the Generation Change Fellows. USIP has been bringing young people from conflict-affected regions for audiences with the Dalai Lama in Dharamsala, northern India, for the past 4 years. There they explore topics ranging from cultivating compassion and forbearance on the path forward and sustainable global peace, to building bridges between international leaders and young peace builders. Due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, this year's dialogue was conducted virtually. Lindbergh remarked that 12th of August was also International Youth Day, and with roughly half the world's youth living in regions directly affected by conflicts, she inquired what His Holiness's perspective was for young people facing these monumental challenges. In part, His Holiness remarked that although removing external problems may not be possible in terms of our inner world and reality, people have the ability to develop tolerance, forgiveness, and contentment regardless of events occurring externally. In China, floodwaters threaten the Leshon giant Buddha. China is facing once-in-a-century floods this week, exacerbated by Typhoon Higos, which passed by Hong Kong on the 19th of August. Among those threatened by the floodwaters are more than 100,000 residents who have been evacuated and the 1,200-year-old UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Leshon giant Buddha. News images show the Buddha statue, which sits at the confluence of the Min and Dadu rivers in central China's Sichuan province, with water reaching up to its feet. Heavy rain over several days across central China has broken dikes and inundated towns across Sichuan, leading the authorities in the area to issue a level 1 emergency alert, the highest level on their 4-level system. In Leshon, the 71-meter stone Buddha can usually be observed from a large paved platform in front of it. That area is now underwater, with staff members using sandbags to help protect the statue. This was the first time in at least 70 years that water has reached the statue's feet. And lastly, the Tibetan Buddhist monk Geshe Jampa Gyatso is reported to have attained a state of Tukdam, a rare post-mortem meditative state. The Central Tibetan Administration, or CTA, has reported that the Taiwan-based Tibetan Buddhist monk and scholar Geshe Jampa Gyatso has entered the tantric meditative state of Tukdam, a Tibetan term for the advanced meditative state practiced by Buddhist masters during the intermediate post-death period. Citing information from the Taiwan branch of the Official Office of Tibet, the CTA said that Geshe Gyatso was reported to have died on the 14th of July, and that the unusual circumstances had been taken as an opportunity to gain deeper scientific understanding of the Tukdam state. Among the observations reported have been a blood oxygen reading of 86, not far below that of a living person, and a team from Taiwan University has recorded significant activity from neural readings of his brain. That is all for this week's BDG News Review. If you enjoy regular news videos delivered to you each week, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and share this video with friends. We appreciate your support and feedback in the comments below. Be sure to check out our website, Buddhistdoor.net, for these stories, along with features and special coverage of Buddhism around the world.